Good night, vatos. Thanks again for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous coming at you live from the West Coast yet again, San Jose, California. So I saw this post and I just wanted to share with you guys. It was about potentially a can tuned destroying a Milwaukee 8. So if you guys want to go read the post, you guys can. It's on the Facebook group M8 Only group. So I just thought it was a pretty good thing to kind of share with you guys, since I am currently running a can tune on my bike. It's a downloaded tune. He called it a downloaded tune, so it's pretty much a can tune. So he rode the bike 10,000 miles. He was riding it hard, of course, after the I believe he has a 485 cam in it. So he's got a 485. I think I believe it's a Cyclorama 485. Riding it hard. He mentions in the post that it went out. His engine gave out at 6,500 RPM. Now that is high. All right. The rev limiter on most of these M8s are about 5,500 or 5,300. You know, depending on the model. I've ridden the limited, and that seems to come on a little bit earlier than that. On the I believe on the CVOs and on the STs, I believe it's a little bit higher than that. So he was riding the bike hard. 6,500 RPM. I believe for his model, it's over by 1,000 RPM. The rev limiter. But of course he has a 485. It's a high lift cam. It's an aggressive cam. But of course he has a downloaded tune. It's not professionally tuned, but it's a can tune. So he probably got it from Fuel Moto. So that's what I'm guessing. And reading on the comments, everybody's pretty much saying the same thing, or I say 70%, 80% of the guys or the of the group members, everybody's pretty much saying it's the can tune or the downloaded tune. Downloaded / can tune. Everybody's pretty much saying that was his issue. Now keep in mind he rode it for 10,000 miles. I mean, it could be that, you know. Like I said, I have a can tune on this bike. It's a 475 cam from S&S. I've been riding it. You know, nothing has went wrong with it. There's somebody else I believe has the same cam, 475. Like I said, I was reading through the comments. I believe somebody else has a 475 as well, and they have 20,000 miles on it, and it's riding just fine. Yes, the can tune had a few issues. I mentioned that in previous videos. I believe the bike was running a little lean at the low RPM, but after some auto-tuning, a lot of auto-tuning, the bike is running a lot better now. Now, I do have to say that when I start it, I believe it's mainly just cold start. Mainly on the cold start, the bike sounds scary, I guess, or very loud, or I'm not sure, because I've had other people just mention stuff in the comments about the startup. So, you know, as far as, you know, issues, if I could point at anything, I guess it would be the startup. I guess that would be it. Now it's backfiring right now because I'm still auto-tuning. Alright, you guys can see auto-tuning. I'm riding around a little bit aggressive, of course, so there's a little bit of a backfire. Alright, so anyways, this is a can tune, downloaded tune from Fuel Moto. It was only $100, so I could see why people can say, you know what, it's the tune, because I mean, you're spending hundreds of dollars. The cam itself is like $300. Are these guys racing or what's going on? Let me get out of this guy's way. So, you know, people are just, you know, making a connection with cheaping out on the tune. You know, people are just saying, hey, how are you spending so much money on your bike and then you're cheaping out at the last step? I understand that. I see it. I've already made a lot of videos where I always recommend the Dyno Tune, the Pro Tune. You know, it's worth the $600, depending on who you take it to. It's worth the $600 to squeeze out, you know, that extra 10 to 12% of performance out of the cam, stage 2. So, anyways, I rode, of course, the same bike. I rode this bike on a stage 1 without a tune for, you know, say about 7,500 miles. You know, I had the Cobra exhaust for about, what is it, a year? Was it a year? I think it was about a year. So I had that Cobra exhaust. I had the intake. I ran with that setup for about a year or so, and I never tuned the bike. I don't know. The bike ran fine. Yes, it probably ran a little lean, but I didn't have any issues at all. So like I said, so far with the can tune, it was rough at the start, but the bike's riding and handling fine. I keep an eye on my temps. It doesn't seem to be, you know, running any hotter with the can tune. It seems to be running around the same temp. I believe this was also the rear cylinder, so if anything, the rear cylinder typically runs hot. You know, just reading the comments, the rear cylinder runs hotter. You guys also remember my own videos on my Evo, on my Sportster. I was pushing that thing pretty hard as well, and I noticed my temperatures were climbing. I was hitting, if I remember right, I was hitting somewhere around 440 degrees because I was holding 90 miles per hour. I mean, it's a 5-speed transmission. So my Evo was running hot. I mean, I didn't run it for a long period of time, but I was able to hit 440 degrees based on the power vision, because I also have a power vision on my Sportster. So, you know, it could have been that. Maybe he was running hot, he was pushing the engine, and if you don't have like an oil cooler or something to kind of keep the temperatures under control, if you're holding, you know, high RPM at, you know, just a significant period of time, that could start causing some issues. If it's running lean, then of course the engine's going to get hotter faster. So I don't know. I mean, the way I see it, because this was pretty much on some of the other comments, people believe it was just the stock springs on the heads, and I could see that being a little bit more you know, reasonable as far as the issue for the failure. Because of course, anything below a 500 lift is a drop-in cam. Drop-in cam meaning you don't have to mess with the heads. Anything above a 500 lift, then you have to start looking at swapping your springs and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, 485, you're getting closer to the 500 lift, but everybody, like the retailers, the manufacturers, S&S, fueling, even they've mentioned it before too, you don't have to swap the springs on a cam that's under 500 lift. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people in the comments believe you have to swap the springs on a 485. You know, I don't know. I mean, I believe it was probably that, the spring, of course, and just the high RPM, 5,500 RPM, and depending on how long, you know, you're riding in those high RPMs, I think it has to be heat, spring failure, RPM, and of course maybe the lift. I don't know. That's what I believe was the issue for it. I don't think it was the tune, but hey, maybe if it wasn't running lean, because I mean, we don't know if it was running lean. He rode it for 10,000 miles. We don't know if he was running lean, but if it was running lean, then, you know, that would contribute to the failure. That, and of course, bike above 5,500 RPM. So I still haven't tuned my bike professionally. I've done it before with my old setup. I currently have a new intake and I have bigger, or I have larger injectors. I have a larger intake and I have larger injectors. I have to get it retuned, but for the time being, the can tune seems to be doing just fine. All right, so I'm still planning on getting it professionally tuned. All right, so I'm still in the process of that. I just have to set up an appointment, take it to get dyno tuned. It's up here in Walnut Creek, so it's only like maybe 30 minutes away, but so far I already have almost 3,000 miles on this can tune. I'm trying out a different tune. Right, I'm trying out a different tune, so that's why I'm retuning it right now, because I'm trying a different tune. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. So, and like I mentioned before, I'll be able to compare the numbers. You know, that's one of the, I think that's one of the major things on why I want to get it professionally tuned, so I can see what numbers we're outputting with the larger injectors and the larger intake. Because because we were doing 114 horsepower at 127 foot-pounds of torque before the injectors and the intake. So I'm wondering, all right, with the new intake and the injectors, how much more power were we able to squeeze out of it? I don't think it's going to be huge. I'd be surprised if we got maybe 2 horsepower and maybe 1 foot-pound of torque. I'd be surprised with that. But anyways, it's in the works. So we'll know. You know, later this year, I'll finally take it to get professional tuned. But you guys can, just leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. It was it's a good read, looking at what everybody thought, all the internet mechanics. But I just don't see the tune being an issue. I mean, unless the air fuel mixture is pretty bad, but I have good confidence in Flo Moto on what they're doing, because I mean, they do this on a daily basis. I've seen them work with other content creators where they get their tune from, and the bike runs decent after, of course, a couple auto tuning sessions. There's a few content creators here. Ashley rides. Her tune is actually from Flo-Moto as well, and she's been riding a lot. All right, she has a street glide. All right, I haven't seen or heard anything negative about a can tune. And the only real negative about can tunes, in my opinion, is you're leaving performance on the table. You're leaving a lot of meat on the bone. A lot, because 10-12% is a good amount. You guys saw the Ryan Cruzy video. He was able to attain an additional 40 horsepower and like 50 foot-pounds of torque with just getting it properly tuned. The Street Glide, the Blockhead versus Cruzy bike build that they did not too long ago. He had I believe he had a 131. He had the auto tune, or the can tune from Thundermax. He took the bike to Trask, got it properly tuned, and they were able to unlock a huge amount of performance. Now, like I said, that's well worth $600. 30 horsepower, 40 foot-pounds of torque. That is worth $600 any day. All right, stage 1, pipes, intake, and the tune. You're looking at what, about $2,500 depending on the setup, and that's only going to give you about 9 horsepower and like maybe 12 foot-pounds of torque, maybe. So that is worth, if you're looking at it from that perspective, of course, that is worth $600. So anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. You know, thanks for the support. You guys get out there and ride. Man, life's a risk. Get out there and ride out. I'm a little off today, all right? It's the weekend, holiday weekend, so happy Easter, guys. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.